Imagine this. You are 4 years old, and though you are still waiting on your coordination skills, your father insists you put on this funny-looking costume, complete with a face mask, a protective vest, shin guards, knee pads, and a huge mitt, and waddle out onto this huge field of red dirt. And even though you can barely walk under the weight of your new costume, and you cannot see anything because the face mask is way too big for your small head, your father tells you to squat down behind the plate and hold out your mitt. Plate? You do not see a plate, and you definitely know your mother would not be happy if she knew your father had taken one of the dinner plates from home to use in this red dirt. After finding this so-called plate, you carefully squat down behind it and hold out your mitt. And before you know it, snap! A big yellow ball hits you right in the shoulder, the only place lacking a piece of that silly costume. This was the first time my father took me to play softball. At that point in time, I was not so sure I would ever enjoy playing the sport. However, the more and more I practiced with my dad, the more I loved it, and I eventually began playing competitively. I have participated in many recreational activities like basketball, soccer, swimming, tennis, track, and many, many more. But softball was always number one on the list. It has taught me countless skills that I can apply in all areas of my life, and it will always hold a very special place in my heart. Since the day I turned 5, I played softball all across the state of Alabama, and I took pitching lessons for 6 years from a Major League Baseball pitcher who played for the top-ranked teams, the Oakland Athletics, the Texas Rangers, and the St. Louis Cardinals. Today, I would like to share with you how I became interested in softball, what I have done in the past regarding my hobby, and what I intend on doing with my skill in the future. The first element of my presentation I would like to share with you today is how I became interested in softball. My parents played on co-ed softball teams before they even were married and continued to play for many, many years. My mother even played when she was pregnant with me, so I guess you could say I was born to play ball. My dad bought me a glove as soon as my hand was big enough to fit into one, and he bought me a bat as soon as I was strong enough to hold it up. When I turned 5, I practiced with my dad every day out in the yard for countless hours and continued to practice year after year. My dad signed me up for a community recreational league, and I never missed a practice or a game. From then on, my glove and my bat were glued to my hands. Here's an example of a typical softball glove. As you can see, it has a very deep pocket, which is definitely needed to catch this big yellow ball. It also has a closed web, which helps pitchers to shield the ball from the batters, and it also helps outfielders to shag fly balls. It has a wrist adjustment, which helps to keep the glove snug to my wrist, and it has what I like to call a peephole, which allows my index finger to breathe. And if you notice, on this yellow ball, it has bright red raised seams, which helps the pitcher to grip the ball in various ways and to throw many pitches, such as a fastball, a changeup, a rise ball, a drop ball, and many more. Also, the bright yellow colors help you to see the ball at nighttime. Now that I've shared with you how I became involved in softball and what a typical ball and glove looks like, I would like to share what I have done in the past regarding my hobby. I began taking fast-pitch softball, pitching and hitting lessons when I was 12 years old from an incredible instructor who truly helped me to excel in the sport. Since I have been playing softball for many years, I decided to try out for my middle school team, and I made it. I continued to practice whenever and wherever I could. I practiced my pitching technique while standing in line at the grocery store, and I practiced my swing in front of my bedroom mirror at home. I continued to practice and practice and practice because I knew it would make me a better player. I played all throughout the summer on travel ball teams all across the state of Alabama, and I eventually tried out for my high school team my freshman year and continued to play until I graduated. Lastly, I would like to share with you what I intend on doing with my skill in the future. I will never, ever quit playing. There are so many ways to stay in the game, like playing in intramural leagues in college and playing on church and co-ed leagues when you get out of college. Also, when I have children, I want to do the same as my parents and teach them at a young age. Also, I hope to become a coach one day so that I can help as many kids as I can to become better players and truly develop a passion for the sport. I will never stray far from my ball, my glove, and my bat. As you can see, softball has played a huge part in my life. I will never ever forget the first time I set foot on that huge field of red dirt with my father, nor will I forget all the memories I have made playing since then. I know I have many more years to enjoy the sport, and I cannot wait to play a game of catch with my very own kids.